Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Presents Elements of Horror. My name is Sean.
And I'm John.
And I'm Missy.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Tori.
And Missy, tonight was your pick for Elements of Horror, so tell us what we're watching and why we're watching it.
Okay. We watched The Passenger from 2023, directed by Carter Smith, starring Kyle Gallner and Johnny Birchtold. And we're watching it because I picked it. It's one of my favorite movies that I feel like no one has seen. And the first time I watched it blind. I didn't know anything about it except that Kyle Gallner was in it, who I've loved forever from horror movies he had done. And then a couple months ago, when I was home for a couple months because I had surgery, and I read an article in Fangoria about Strange Darling and Kyle Gallner, and I started digging into a bunch of his other stuff. That's how I found it. Um, but the first time I saw it, it blew me away. Like I I love the performances, the characters. I find their relationship just fascinating. And I'll watch anything that Kyle does. Like he's outstanding in everything he does. But I think this is one of his best roles. This and Dinner in America, which is not horror, but if you've not seen it and you're listening, you should watch that too.
Amen to that. Yeah.
I think this is almost a perfect film. The Benson character, the one Kyle plays, he brings an honesty and a vulnerability to a character who's so much more than just a villain. And I think the movie's it's intense and scary and brutal and honest and heartbreaking, and I think everybody should check it out. And it's very independent, and I feel like nobody's heard of it, but everybody I've showed it to has dug it.
So I had not heard of this movie. I did see it in that article that she's talking about in Fangoria, but Missy watched it first. So that was like Missy, you're where I heard about the movie. Had any of the rest of you seen this movie? Did you have any knowledge of it before, or was this all just a cold watch?
Cold. Totally cold.
I caught it on Amazon a couple months ago, just on a blind watch.
Okay. So, Tori, talk about that. How and just for the listener, Elements of Horror. This is going to be a full spoiler discussion. There's not really a way to spoil this movie, but there kind of is. So, just if you haven't seen it, just watch it and come back because we're not gonna dance. We're not gonna dance around it. So, Tori, everything is game. So, talk about watching this movie a couple months ago and what you thought of it and.
Honestly, I forgot all about it because it didn't, I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like, yeah, that's
Mhm.
great. I kind of just um kind of lost in the shuffle. So I did have to do a rewatch. And um I still dig it, but it kind of loses me toward like the second half of it. It kind of really slowed down too much for me.
Mhm.
And I started to lose it. And I was like, oh, I'm watching Riding in Cars with Boys. I was like, oh, this is great. Um, no, it's a good movie. I think the acting is great. It's a great like study into a character that obviously is just right off the bat. You're like, oh, he's just disturbed. So it digs a little deeper in that where you have a little bit of sympathy for him. But yeah, I just got a little bored toward the end.
Okay. Okay. John, talk about watching this movie.
Oh, what you mean Collateral set out in the sticks?
Oh.
Yeah, I one of the things that I really liked about this was the whole concept of like the Death Angel character. You have a character who's like he's not a serial killer, or at least not like in the same way as like say like Leatherface or Michael Myers. He's not motivated by greed or jealousy or misogyny or because he hates ethnic minorities or something like that. He just likes to use violence as a way to sort of tinker with life and see what
Ooh.
happens. And, we get a couple characters, like that. And, the whole time this kind of just reminded me a lot of like, he just reminded me so much of Tom Cruise's character in Michael Mann's Collateral, just sort of with this guy for a ride along and saying like, okay, you need to stand up for yourself. You need to stop being such a wimp, and you need to um, you need to have agency over your own life, and this is me just totally completely rudely gate crashing this and taking you along for the ride whether you like it or not. And that's just sort of one of those things where it's like it's almost this modern day kind of horror trope that you don't find like earlier, like with monsters or ghosts, and it's and also just kind of on the back of this, and just another thing that I want to thank Missy for not only introducing me to this film but introducing me to Dinner in America a
Yeah.
few months before, and watching that film as well, which I also really really enjoyed, and came back to it and I was like, oh, it's this guy. This is gonna be fun. So, um, I liked it. It was sort of something that it was something that I had seen before, but done in a new way, which
Yeah.
was really. And we can talk about some other things later, but just sort of the whole kind of the fact that this drama plays out in rural Louisiana as opposed to in a major city just sort of made it something new as well.
Yeah, and it adds a lot of the charm to. Man, I had totally not made the parallel to Collateral, but god damn, if that it's so on the nose, that's crazy. Wow.
I kept thinking too, like, oh, I know this trope. I've seen this in a couple other movies, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
In some ways, The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer kind of it reminded me. It
Yeah,
reminded me.
I
It
can see
reminded me a
that.
little. It reminded me a little bit of that. I mean, Rutger Hauer's character, he's just a total psycho. He's a total serial
Hmm.
killer. But it was almost kind of like Collateral meets The Hitcher in some
Yeah,
way.
that's a good way to describe it, actually. I like that.
I don't know Collateral. I'll have to look that one up.
It's fucking outstanding. It's very,
Okay.
very good. Very good. Ray, talk about watching The Passenger.
Uh, well,
Uh-oh.
okay. I'll say it this way. The reason I'm here to talk about it is because I can honestly acknowledge I didn't like it, but
Okay.
that's a
That's
big
fair.
but. I can say I'm a film person enough to say, is it competently made? Is it well acted? Is it strong storytelling? Absolutely. It's maybe just not for me.
Okay.
Um, but I think it's very well done. I think
Mm.
John's statement about Collateral really makes sense to me. The other film that I kept thinking about was like Falling Down with a Sidekick. Um, I didn't that statement about the Hitcher also makes a lot of sense. It feels a little different. It because in the Hitcher, it feels like Cower's character is trying to push him to stop him. Like the whole film, it feels like he wants to be stopped. Like he's one of
Hmm.
those serial killers that is trying to get caught. Um, and in this case, he's just like, no one can stop me. I'm gonna see if I can make this kid stop me. And in Collateral, he is like pushing this person forward. But I feel like in this film, he's doing the things he's doing because he wants him to. He wants. I forget the name of that other character, the two characters, but he wants him to share his rage. He wants him to. He wants kinship. He wants him to feel that kind of anger about the things that have been not gone his way in life and take action against those people for what he feels is slights. Like, let's go talk to the ex-girlfriend. Let's go figure this out. Let's see if we can lay some blame on her. And like that character doesn't want to do that.
Hmm.
And he doesn't, and he feels bad about the teacher, but he doesn't feel like it's she's to blame. Whereas the Kyle Renner's character, he feels some rage at other people. Like he feels like other
Oh
people are
yeah.
manipulating him in his life, and he's going to subject them to the anger that he's generated. No, I think one of my favorite sequences in the entire film is that part where they go to his mom's house.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. And that whole thing
Yeah.
where like she's asking for the phone and then he gets pissed about the phone. That there's like I feel like there's a whole movie involved in him just going home and interacting with his mother that would be interesting to watch. Just how much rage and anger is between those two because what is
Yeah.
going on with that relationship? It's
Well,
so
there
strange.
throughout the whole movie, it was just to show little snippets of like what caused his
Yeah.
trauma. You know what I mean? And then we can fill in
Yes.
the blanks, like the teacher, his mom, being in a poor, shitty town,
Yeah.
etc. People
The,
bullying others.
the mom is funny because it made me think of something Tori, I've heard you say in reference to women that look like that, rode hard and put away wet.
Oh,
she,
she
she,
absolutely is.
she looks,
Oh
yeah,
man.
Oh man.
oh man.
Rode hard and put away wet.
Oh, perfectly cast. And I think so. The thing about this flick that got, I mean, the opening gets you right. Like
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
definitely gets you. And the thing about it, watching it the second time now, the other night, it's a lot like uh, Bobcat Goldthwait's movie "God Bless America," which I haven't watched in over 10 years now. I watched a handful of times when it came out, and I would like to rewatch. I'm a little afraid of it, but like so okay, here's, if you're listening, you've seen the movie, but let's just give a setup. So it's, you've got Johnny Bechtold is just, he goes into work at this shitty fast food place. It's not even a standalone fast food place, guys. It's like attached to a gas station.
Yeah.
Fuck. Right, fuck.
Hey, crispy chicken in Long Beach is bomb, and it is attached to Exxon. Don't knock it till you try.
Okay.
Just saying.
But he's kind of treated like shit. There's one person there in particular that treats him like shit, and Kyle's character Benson, just, he's not even really involved in the altercation, but watching it makes him sick. He goes out, gets a shotgun out of his trunk, and kills everybody in the store except for
Randy.
except for
Randy,
Randy.
yeah.
Randy. I was going to call him Bradley because it's a running joke in the
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
And it's this long shot that just follows him out there. It's this handheld shot. You're just like
Yes.
walking with him. It's like, it's almost kind of like when Mr. Blonde goes out to the
Yep.
car to
Yeah.
get the kerosene for the
Or,
car.
or the Boogie Nights, the 1979 New Year, to a
Oh,
lesser
Oh yeah, where he
extent.
goes
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
get the
yeah,
gun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Little
But
Bill,
he
yeah.
goes out and he gets his smokes and he's smoking, and you could see the wheels turning, right? So that when he goes in the trunk, you kind of know what's coming. But the thing is, when he walks back in and he shoots the dickhead first, it's cathartic, right? And
Mhm.
it really says something. It really says something because it really illustrates the fact that, like, in this, there's nobody watching this movie. Or like maybe like my mom would recoil at that and be
yeah,
like,
we
"Oh,
didn't
that's
go.
terrible."
Woo!
But like everybody's like, "No big loss. Fuck that guy," right? But this shit happens in reality, and so it's just such an interesting thing to put on film and serve to you and be like, "How do you react?"
It's like that moment in Todd Phillips' Joker where he's like, oh please, Murray, I killed those people because they were awful.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Good pull. But it's it and after he kills these people, he doesn't kill Randy, and he brings him with him, and he becomes this passenger on this ride, and he's basically like, I'm gonna fix you because I just watched this guy fucking make you eat a day old burger, and you should know better. And what the fuck is wrong with you? And he starts to dig into his life and try and, oh, you got a girlfriend that broke up with you. Let's go talk to her.
Yeah.
You got this teacher that something happened. Well, let's go talk to her. And he's making him he's forcing him to face all these uncomfortable things.
He's trying to fix these things that he couldn't fix in himself,
Mhm.
or that was some kind of trauma that he couldn't relieve. So he's like, oh, I'll help this younger kid out, who he just assumes too didn't go through anything horrible. It's just this kind of like dopey nerd.
Yeah, yeah, but I actually, Tori, so that's how I read it until it didn't dawn on me until I forget now if Ray or John said it. Like, is he actually trying to fix him,
No,
or is he trying to instill the rage in him so that he has somebody that, like, yes, you're right,
I think he used him being like punked in the beginning as an excuse to let out his rage. Oh, okay, he's picking on this guy. Well, I'm gonna fuck him up. It wasn't ever
Mhm.
to show the kid a lesson or teach him. That's just what he was telling himself in his head to make it okay,
Well, for the violence,
to
but what about the
justify the
ride along?
violence. No, I think that was bullshit. I think he didn't want to kill him, but he didn't know what to do with him.
I've never taken it that way at all.
So
Like
tell me how you take it.
I think it's interesting what you guys were saying about the rage too, because I've always taken it as because when he attacks the teacher later, like it's insinuated, what kind of trauma he has had. But I've always taken it as he saw some of himself in this other kid, and he wanted to try to save him because he couldn't save himself. He knew he was doomed already.
I
I
think
buy
there's a
that.
little bit of that. I think there's a little bit of that, but I also think that Tori's kind of right too, and that there's a there was a thing at some point, like when he was in the car with him and he's talking to him, and he's like, because he's not, he's I forget what exactly is said in the conversation, but there's a thing where like he says something and he's mocking him, and at the same time trying to make him better or trying like in his way. And it reminds me of like if you've ever if you've ever looked into bullying or you've ever heard about bullying or like taken education courses in and they talk about it, it's one of the classic behaviors of bullying that they talk about is that like bullies will like if there's like the fat kid and like they'll be like, hey fat kid, when they talk to the bully and they're like, well, why do you keep doing that? Like he like, why are you doing that to him? The bully will sometimes like psychologically will think, well, I'm telling him because he needs to know he's fat, he's gross, and maybe he'll improve. And it's like this fucked up way of like thinking of like, if I don't be brutally honest to this person, then who will? So I'm gonna traumatize them into the truth, and that will make them change. That will force them to evolve into a better version of themselves. And it's not it's done in a way that's really destructive, but I mean it is like when they've had to like teach bullies empathy and things like that because they've had to explain to them like, hey, that doesn't help. Like, if you want to help them, like, ask him if you want to, give him pointers on like run, like taking him for a run or getting him in activities or something. Or, maybe if like you see, like, hey, man, maybe this isn't a good idea for a meal, try this. But like, hey, fat shit, that's gross. Why you always gonna be fat? Like, that's not helpful. And so they don't know there's something that doesn't quite make sense to them and they don't know how to be kind in the way that they teach. Does that
See,
make sense?
no, I think that's bull. I think that's just it's a narcissist way of
I agree.
saying, "Oh, this is fine
That's true
because
too.
I'm
I agree.
helping." Because what's his face? He didn't fucking care about him because if he truly did, he would have listened to him. There were multiple times in that movie he wouldn't even listen to this poor kid. And it's like you're not trying to help him. You are projecting all the rage and violence you feel and all of that injustice. And now you're trying to make it okay in your head by helping a kid, taking a kid under this wing. And he's not even a fucking kid. He's a young man who's going to learn all of this stuff too eventually on his own. He didn't need a psychopath to fucking take him.
Yeah, it's projection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think I just was not saying it as I was not constructing it, but I don't disagree with the way that you read that at all.
No, I get what you're saying. It's that just that narcissistic thinking. Oh, I'm helping.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, well,
no,
it's an
you're not.
excuse, right? It's
Yeah.
an excuse. And first of all, there's no bully under the age of 20 that if that would ever be true of. Now there might be somebody who's older that is a bully that maybe they have a fucked up worldview and that could maybe be wrong, but still a legitimate like them thinking that they're helping. But nobody under the age of 20 that's a bully. They're just if you're a bully because you want to be a bully.
Yeah.
Well,
Not 'cause you're trying to help.
one of the biggest bullies on the planet is 78 years old, and everything he says is a psychological projection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
I'm like,
I
that's
think
that's a real horror show. But anyway,
Yeah, tell me about it.
I've had to watch just like a lot of comedy recently. I've had to take
Yeah.
a fucking break. Like
I
Yeah.
understand.
just a lot of Silicon Valley.
Well, there's even like shades of Frank Booth for me in that character. And you know what I mean? Like just the rage involved in that character.
Well, he has a tendency to contemplate. So it's funny because it's not just like a knee-jerk reaction, right?
Yeah.
He's very aware of everything he does and he contemplates things. So Frank Booth kind of splits the difference there.
Yeah.
There's a reactionary element, but also he's very aware. I think the scene where he beats up the former teacher is. I don't want to say it's my favorite scene because the opening is still my favorite scene because it is cathartic to watch him fucking shoot that dude and watch him fly across the fucking room too. Like he fucking moves, man, when he shoots him. Oh, and then like when he shoots the chick, he wasn't
Yeah.
gonna shoot her, but she just wouldn't shut the fuck up, so he shoots her. It's like okay,
Right.
stupid. But the scene where he beats up the teacher is so. I just think it's so well done because they don't ever tell you why, and I'm so fucking happy they don't because I don't need to know. It's better not knowing. Like it's
Yeah.
just, it's so fucking. And dude, even the effects, the makeup on
Yeah,
that
the
teacher,
effects
dude,
look great.
on his mouth is fucked. It is. Oh man, it's rough.
That wasn't part of the original script.
Really.
I've listened to Kyle and Johnny, the two leads, do several interviews like on YouTube and stuff. And originally, Mr. Shepard was not supposed to die. Kyle went to Carter Smith and said, "Hey, I think I need to kill him. Whatever he did, like it should be so bad that I'm gonna flip my shit and kill him." And they said, "Okay, let's try it." And originally they only told him to hit him a couple times, and he said, "No, I want him to lose his shit." So that was added because the actor wanted to try it.
I don't think he kills him.
He does. Because when the Miss Beard gets the phone call,
Yeah.
he died on the way to the hospital.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, because he's still alive when they leave him in the parking lot.
Right.
Yes.
And it does look super gnarly.
That is a brutal beating scene, and I got to tell you, Carter Smith. I never saw The Ruins. I need to remedy that. But
That's a good one.
I'm a huge fan of Swallowed from 2022, the year before this. I just got the Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome a couple months ago, and I rewatched it recently, and I just think it's a fucking amazing,
With the pregnant lady, right?
amazing. No, no, no.
Oh,
It's the one with the two friends where
oh, the drug
they're gonna
one.
mule they're gonna mule
Mhm.
drugs, so they swallow these like balloons.
Oh, yeah, and it starts like one pops, right, or
Well,
something.
yeah, it turns out it's not drugs, it's bugs. It's
Mm.
it's an
Which is
incredible
why I
fucking.
haven't watched it yet. Like,
It's absolutely incredible. It's so fucking good.
I need to give it a try.
But I really like Carter Smith. I think he chooses just some really interesting movies.
He's got a dark view because The Ruins is real bleak and dark and fucked up too.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good
I
to
haven't
know.
seen it in a long time, but I really liked that one. Like one of my favorite scenes is the scene at the gas station and Randy's looking around the parking lot and you can see how much nothing there is all around. And um, Benson is looking at him through the window and it's so isolated and it adds to it, I think. I mean, it's a weird road trip movie and they never actually leave town.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, they end up back as you get your inciting incident, right, at their workplace, then they go to a diner and they end up back at the same fucking diner. So they really just go in a circle because that's where it ends. So
Mhm.
that's a very good point. They don't go anywhere.
It's just like a metaphor for that his life.
Yeah.
He had all these plans, like we're gonna go here, we're gonna get smokes, then we're gonna go, and they ended up at the same place.
God, that's crazy. And I hadn't even thought about it like that, but that's a really good point, Tori, too. Like that is kind of life in that you set out, you go, and then like, oh, I'm gonna go see this person, I'm gonna go see this person, I gotta do this, and then before you know it, like, oh, you're just back where you started again.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And all he did was judge others
Yeah.
and their
The
decisions, and he was just like them,
the,
if
the
not worse.
scene the scene that really gives that and it's interesting where it's placed too, because you have your opening scene where he kills all these people, and then they go to the diner and he judges this woman at the diner, and that's where I'm like the
Whoa.
character, because I'm kind of with him, and then when he does
Mhm.
that, I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man? That's fucked up. Don't talk to her like that. That's fucked up.
Especially like, dude, you're in the service industry with her. You know
I
exactly what she
know.
goes through.
Well, not only that, but like she's kind of got one up on him because like he's working at a fucking Good Burger or whatever it is attached to a gas station. Nothing against crispy chicken in Long Beach,
Sorry.
but seriously, like she's at
Not
least at
sponsored.
like a Waffle House analog, right? So
Yeah.
it's like really, she can laugh at him. She's making tips, he's not, right? Um,
Took on that. Yeah.
but he's a fucking cock in that scene, and it turns me away from him. But then you kind of forget about it, and then they bring it back, and I like the way I man, and you could say like, oh, it's been like how many hours nighttime now? Why is this woman still there? It's like, dude, that's what these people do. They work double and triple shifts to fucking pay the bills, man. Of course she's still there. She probably barely ever goes home.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this movie's got a lot of heart, and I don't know, man. It haunts me. It is a haunting motion picture to me.
I agree with you. And I one of the things I like about it is that the Benson character, it because I feel the same way where like I connect with him, but then he pushes you away. But then like it just kind of walks a weird line.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I had sympathy for him at a point, and then I was like, yeah, not so much. I mean, I think if they would have kept with the sympathy, or at least a little bit, I wouldn't have leaned so much to not liking him. But
But
yeah,
that's a
hmm,
dangerous thing. They do that on purpose because, like, I never have sympathy for him. Maybe a little bit with the innuendo of the teacher, right? You
with
maybe
yeah,
right because he would have been a little kid, or we don't know what happened. But like Missy said, there's an implication. You draw a conclusion,
Right.
and they know you're drawing a conclusion, right? But other than that, I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. But what I do have is kind of like a there's God, here here's the thing, it's fucked
it's
up, but like kind of a respect for him in a way.
it's not a
Hmm.
sympathy, but it's an understanding of like, okay, I understand how you got the way you are, and I'm sorry that happened to you, and I feel bad that you couldn't work through that. But yeah, I don't agree with all the murder. I mean, I get like the rage, but once it really lost me on that, I just was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I don't enjoy it all that much, just because I don't connect with the Benson character. I feel like from the start he feels like a narcissist to me, and I just can't disconnect from that feeling of like he's just trying to make he's just trying to make a case for himself, and
Right.
I can't abide by his logic. I just know it's faulted, and I just know that like I, I get that people go through trauma, but at some point, like, if you're not reaching out and you're not seeking help for that trauma, then you're kind of at fault too. Like, you can't just
Right.
suddenly turn on everyone else and be like, oh, these people need to pay. Like, hey, man, like, maybe you needed to talk before you got to this point. I mean, shit. I mean, have you heard of a therapist? Have you thought of
Okay,
seeking
to
a
Ray, this
counselor or
guy is
something?
not going
Like,
to a therapist,
but
Ray.
that's my
He
point.
would
Is that
shoot,
like,
he would fucking shoot you for even saying that. Hey
Ray,
man.
I want you to name two men that you know in therapy right now,
oh
not
wow,
yourself included. Thank you very much.
no,
I rest my case.
I'm not in therapy, so I can't say. That's a good. I mean, yeah, that's fair because I don't think.
I I
I mean, I
I
love you dudes, but you got a lot of men don't ask for help.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the only person I could possibly name is an uncle, and that's because he's a paranoid schizophrenic, so he has to. I mean,
My brother, because it was court appointed. No, I'm just kidding. Joking. Joking.
John,
dark. Oh,
how
I
do
love
you
your
feel
sense of
about the
humor. I
Benson
know I've
character?
always have.
First of all, just before we get into that, I'll just for the sake of the listeners, just if any male listener out there is contemplating it, I'm in therapy and I see a therapist, so I'm just you're just putting that out there.
No, there's nothing
So
So
wrong with
do
it.
it. Yeah,
I
no.
yeah,
understand.
I
I'm
no 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 I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong here. I'm just just thought I'd put that out there. What do I think of what I think of the Benson character? Holy moly, he's one of the most interesting characters I've seen um, in a while. And yeah, no, you're right. It's like you kind of he I didn't feel. I mean, I kind of at first kind of felt like wow, this is this is kind of like he could possibly be one of those like the characters, that's like too cool for school, and just like, very kind of taboo to like, like Martin Sheen's character in Badlands almost. But then we're right. Once we get to the diner, you almost feel like he's just a character that's leading you down this kind of mindscape, and through this maze, and like he's somebody who's both like an agent and a patient of the narrative. And, he's just sort of there to like almost kind of guide you through a hall of mirrors almost.
Hmm.
And I still agree that my favorite scene is just like everyone else kind of mentioned, just the mom's house. Just like, where they go to the mom's house. It's just like that still just sticks out in my mind. It's like one of the best scenes. Tori, say the expression again. What's that expression again?
Rode hard and put away wet.
Okay,
I'm
committing
it's
that
so
to memory.
perfect. I picture like young Benson coming home at like
Corrupting John.
12, and she's like filming a porno, like like in the living room, like go
All
to
I
Johnny's
could-
house. I'll be done by 5. Macaroni and cheese for dinner. Like
So
She's
good.
definitely the kind of woman that would have gotten a ride home from a trucker bar by blowing the guy on the way home. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like she's
roadhead.
just
I really, I was thinking Gummo the whole fucking time in
Yeah,
the
oh yeah,
house.
dude.
I couldn't
Yes.
like get out of it. I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like
But-
spaghetti in the bathtub.
Bacon floating in there. That's what I was thinking too.
And then he came out in that like fuzzy Nirvana sweater, and I was like,
Oh my
I can't,
God.
I can't do this. It took me like I couldn't take him seriously, and
So
I was
that
like-
sweater, it's
the one you
that
had.
scene,
I'm just kidding.
that scene, the room when they go in there, the house, it reminds me so much of Gummo, and the sweater. I'm like, Gummo had to have been a fucking influence on this fuck. It had to have been. It's just
man.
so thrift store specific. Like, oh my God, it. The fact that he wears the sweater for the like, there's like scenes later on where he's like, he does this thing where he'll like almost caress Randy's head as he's talking to him. It's like they're almost foreheads are touching, and he's like giving him like this like weird pep talk, but he's the sweater.
He's wearing this fuzzy sweater.
And like Randy's dressed like some fucking dirtbag fucking meth salesman from 2000, like that lived in Southern
Oh,
Illinois.
man.
Like, I mean, just like, oh my God, it's the set design and costume design is so on the fucking nose. It's unreal.
I feel like it was so good. It was probably just shit that was there. They really didn't do anything. They were just we're gonna use Methanie's house. It's perfect. Don't do anything. Lady, lay there.
She lives in Bethlehem.
No, that's where we like go to methyl. No, I fucked that
Oh
up.
my
Yeah,
God.
also known as Victorville.
Oh. Anywhere in the high desert, Apple Valley,
Ridgecrest.
aka the Valley of the Dirt People. All IE is Valley of the Dirt People. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be sorry. It's the fucking truth.
Hemet. Have you,
There's some
John,
hot takes tonight.
have you ever been to Oildale?
What's that?
Have you ever been to Oildale in Bakersfield?
No.
Take the trip. I'll buy your
I
gas.
thought you were gonna say take your wife.
Yeah, no. Yeah, take
Take the
Kari, nice
trip.
Sunday drive. No, if you ever, for some god awful reason, are going through Grapevine and have to go through Bakersfield, take the 15-minute detour to Oildale. That's all I'll say. Do it blind. Don't go after sun or dark or it gets dark.
I'll make sure I have like plenty of gas so like I don't have to stop.
Jeez.
When you hear the banjo, you went too far. Turn around.
I was making a face because that when you said agent and patient of, I was like, wow. That was amazing. That was amazing, John. You blew my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ray just went like.
You can see it on the screen, didn't you? You just see the brain matter fucking blow out of my head. I was like, God damn.
Who is this that says I blow minds for a living? It's not Jello Biafra, it's somebody else.
It's the
I
mom
don't
from
know.
the movie we just watched.
There you go. There you go.
No, I blow mimes for a living.
And that's for a pack of smokes.
No, I was thinking, he had so much rage in this movie. Then you said he was caressing Homeboy's hair. What if all of this rage was just his homosexual tendencies he didn't feel he could let out.
It could be.
I
I
mean,
mean,
He
it
might
could
have
be.
been. I think he might have. That might have been part of the writing. I think.
yeah.
I think it's just.
No, I know. I'm
I
just
don't want to
messing.
call. I don't want to call it an Easter egg or something like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's there.
Yeah,
I
me
wouldn't be
neither.
surprised at all. Not at all.
That wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
And
Oh
it
man.
it fits with that kind of archetype. Man, he's so good. He is just so fucking good. Like having just watched Dinner in America too, like for the first time, fuck. Like I always liked him, but fuck, he is just so fucking good. Like goddamn.
I
Oh
like him. He always looks perpetually sad or worried to me. Like he's or like upset.
yeah.
Like I want to see him in a romantic comedy or something where he's smiling.
Watch Dinner in America.
I
Yeah.
did, and
Oh,
I got bored. I
oh,
really
oh,
don't.
man.
Yeah,
Um,
I got to give it another chance, but yeah, I was kind of okay.
Hmm. I got to check out Dinner in America, apparently.
Super Tramp.
Missy, you have anything else to say? This is your pick. Anything else about The Passenger?
Um, just that I like hearing everybody's views because I always perceived it just really differently than you guys did. Um, I thought one of the main points of the movie is that inaction is a choice, and because there's that part where they're standing on the stairs about to go into the school, I think, and he tells Benson says to Randy, "What about never reacting to anything at all? Do you think that that's safer? Because it's not." I always took that to be kind of the whole point of the movie. Also, while there definitely is some manipulation going on, I don't think that's really what he was trying to do. I think he's a damaged, fucked up person. And when Randy and Benson are in the car and he's talking about the incident that got him held back, until he starts unfolding his story, like you think that it's going to be an abuse thing. And I think Benson thinks that too. And I think that's what happened to him. But then when he starts telling him about his teacher and her getting hit with the eraser and losing her eye and everything, I don't think he was laughing at him to bully him. I think it caught him off guard. To me, it felt like a moment of being real. Because that's kind of the reaction the first time I watched it. And Randy starts telling the story, like it's not what you're expecting, and it made me laugh. But I mean, I'm also a dark, fucked up person. But I think Benson was somebody who got hurt, and I mean, when he saw Randy getting bullied in the beginning, he kind of flips his shit and ends up killing those people. But like, I don't think that he planned to do it. I think it just happened, and then when he saw some of himself in Randy, which is why he didn't kill him. And then they ended up having this kind of weird connection.
Yeah. I mean, he kills the dickhead, and that's who he means to kill, right? And
Right.
then he kills what next? The boss next, and that's because the
Hmm.
boss is gonna. He's gonna. There's no way he
Right.
can't
He's
kill the
running for a
boss.
phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not gonna kill the girl until she
But
just
she
won't
keeps
shut the fuck
screaming.
up. But I see a scenario where if she had just read the room and shut her mouth, the three of them could have walked out of there,
Right.
right? But it's not what happened. So I don't know, man.
And
It's such an
what they were saying about him having homosexual tendencies, like I think that probably is part of it. Because there are moments where he's kind of gentle with Randy. Like he wipes
yeah,
his tears
absolutely.
away. And I mean, in the next scene, he's he's just walking a line and he's losing his shit. And but I think they have a connection. I always took it as he wanted to. He couldn't save himself, so he thinks he can help Randy. I mean, and in the end, he kind of does, but not in a good way. The fucked up part is that he's forcing Randy to face his demons, but when he's faced with his own demon, that's when he snaps, and he can't. Randy does, and in the end, faces him.
The coda for the movie, we see that Randy's okay.
Right.
So it works. It definitely works. Which, it's interesting. Both this and Dinner in America have a quality to them that remind me of the movie Hesher with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where Hesher is basically Mary Poppins except with a stoner, right? Like,
Right.
That's 100% what Hesher is. And there's an element of both of these movies that has a similar thing where it's like this really antagonistic, caustic person ends up helping people be okay. I really like that as a theme. I got to track down Hesher. I don't think that movie's never streaming on anything. I need to just find a copy and buy it. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, I love that one.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah, I don't
Of
want
course
to.
it is, because everything's on TV.
Fucking love Tubi, man.
Guys, any other closing thoughts about The Passenger by Carter Smith?
Thank you.
I love it. If you've never seen it, check it out. If it's not for you, turn it off.
It's on Prime.
I enjoyed it. Missy, thanks for recommending it.
You're welcome.
I agree.
I'm not a fan, but I'd say check it out. Because just because I don't like something doesn't mean someone else isn't going to like something. So,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't regret watching it.
No, I don't
I'll
either.
never
I
watch it
think-
again.
I think that's exactly how I feel. Is that like it's not necessarily for me, but it doesn't mean that like someone else won't watch it. They're like, oh, this is so good. Like
Yeah, right.
it may, whatever. It's like I said, it's well made. It's structured well. The camera works great. Like it doesn't look low budget or like poorly done. It's really well done.
Yeah, it is.
It's a Blumhouse flick, and really, that's never a selling point. In fact, now when I see Blumhouse, I'm like, okay, really, what is this going to be?
In fact, when you watched it and it opened with the Blumhouse thing, when you watched it the first time, you were messaging me.
No, okay, I don't remember.
Yeah,
but that
bitching
makes
that it was a
sense.
Blumhouse movie, and I'm like, just give it a try. It's different.
So next up on Elements of Horror, Tori, it's your pick. Do you have anything in mind that you want to give for like a watch along, or it's still TBD?
I don't know.
TBD.
TBD, because I'm going to make you guys suffer. So I
Okay.
really want to get it right.
Okay.
I'm making you watch Incendies. Fuck all of
Oh, that's
you.
a great movie.
No, man, that's not good enough. All right, I got to think of something cool. Probably I Saw the Devil.
Nice.
Oh, we finally get to do the I Saw the Devil episode.
Finally, because now you guys have to watch it.
All right.
We did watch it.
Saw the
You're the one
Devil
that
is
canceled.
great.
We watched it and you canceled doing the episode the day of the episode.
I'm sorry, I'm dead. I can't talk right now.
I really enjoy that movie. So yes, bring
That
it on.
movie's
Let's do
fucked
that
up,
one.
but it's good.
Okay, so that is Elements of Horror. This is the Horror Vision. I'm Sean.
I'm John.
I'm Missy.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Blackbeard.
Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. a video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of A Collection of Desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before-published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts.